It's the vibe for me, it's your vibe for me. Do you see me out there vibing freely? I don't care, I'm a vibe anywhere. Take a drive or by fair, flying past your cousin prayer. It's the vibe for me, it's your vibe for me. Do you see me out there vibing freely?
Have we ever gone a week?
Maybe if somebody was on vacation.
Yeah.
A vacation's length.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's like an out of the country. That's not like I'm in Houston.
Right.
It's like my phone doesn't work here.
Yeah.
Maybe a week. Never.
No.
See, this is so this is where this is what makes this friendship so unique.
I don't think long. Like,
I mean, but realistically, I mean, when you think of again, and maybe it's me, but I'm like, when you think of the stereotypical besties, even in adulthood, you have, I mean, we can go weeks without talking, and it's not any feeling behind it, or at least it's
both busy as I don't know what.
and I think that's also part of the reason why I struggled with the whole bestie title and knowing my place or what have you, because I'm just like, I'm not, and it's never anything personal. It's just, I mean, just being honest. If you don't live in my household,
You're right. That's what
even people that I work with, if you don't live in my household, I can literally go weeks and months without talking to certain people. My parents included. It's just I go and it just is. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not, but that's why I've always struggled, because in my mind, that traditional best friend is texting you every day and, girl, this is what happened, and you're on the phone, or every day you're giving the breakdown on your way home from work or something. And I'm just like, and I haven't had that kind of relationship since like elementary school. So I'm like, but when you see it on TV, I'm just like, oh, is that what I'm supposed to be doing? And sometimes I feel bad. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to girl, what's up? What's going on with and it's not because she's an afterthought. It's not because it's literally, if you don't live in my household,
okay, seriously,
that's just how it is. But it's
probably weeks. I don't think we've ever gone like a month. I don't.
That's all you wanted. That's you. It's okay to cut me off, Kristen. We didn't ask for all that. So
weeks.
Final answer.
Yeah.
I
say no more than like a couple months.
Yeah.
It depends on schedules, honestly. Because even if we're not on the phone, we're like at least texting each other, checking in.
Right. Like a few months. But that's when you were in college, when you were at Howard, right?
Yeah, I would say that. Yep. When I went to Howard, because I moved from Florida up to DC. And she was in college, I was in college. We didn't talk as much then. So, but I still don't think it was longer than a few months, because she would let me know like if she's gonna be up this way or if I was back home. We would kind of just link right back up. So I wouldn't say longer than like a couple months.
Never.
No. There's no need to.
Mm-mm.
See? There it is.
I mean, but she
that's
knows
your answer. That's moving on. Sorry, no.
She knows now, but there was definitely a gentleman who, in my mind, I was over him, and then when I wasn't, I was like, I cannot. I am not telling her this. Because of me, not because of her.
Mhm.
Not because of her, because of me being like, girl.
And see, you know, and that it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was lying. It's just
No,
it's
it was lying. No.
delayed.
No, I lied.
Oh,
It was a lie.
oh, okay. All right. Well,
But it didn't live long. I
Okay.
had to fess up and be like, yes.
Okay. So have
Where I actually went was.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, you know what
so
I'm
that
talking
justifies
about. It was a lie.
That's
But
yes, Judge
yeah.
Judy. That is accurate.
yeah.
Have I ever lied? No,
Does omission count?
well, and see, that's what I was see, that's what I was just getting at. I'm like, and see, that's why I was trying to give her grace. I'm like, you know, there are delayed, what's the word I'm looking for? Delayed disclosures.
Half truths? Nah, they whole lie. Half truths are whole lies.
They are, but I'm just saying. I mean, so it's never been like I said I was here and I was really over there. You know, that not that kind of thing. I mean, I guess if you're calling omission,
I am.
okay. So then yes.
Yep.
Next answer. Next question.
Yes. I was like, what's twice? I don't know what, but I know there was a time I lied to you. It was probably when I was with my ex-fiance. Just try to cover up for him.
Woo! Because she knows that we have I ever lied to you? If I was to say, probably once. Like, I mean, I don't as of late, no, but I don't try not to lie, period. So it's really hard. Like, in fact, I feel like one of my strengths and weaknesses at the same time is like, they be like, Dad, Kalada, you said that like kind of harshly. And I'm like, it just came out. It's the truth. What can I do? So if I have, it's probably somewhere in the past and we were either in high school or college and yeah, I didn't want to tell her about something. But I don't really remember.
But it was more probably covering up for my ex-fiance. Yep. That's yeah.
I'm trying to think of how much of it how to phrase it.
Mhm.
There was an incident that happened a few years back that was absolutely devastating to her. And I thought I saw the outcome that I would have had, but I watched her work through pain, betrayal, hurt, all different types of emotions, crazy emotions that could have broken anyone down. But her resilience in that situation was absolutely amazing to me. And I had never seen that in a real life situation before. So I was extremely proud of how she was, because quite honestly, had you told me something like that would happen to her, I would have been terrified that she wouldn't make it through it. Had you just told me, you know, in a couple of years, this is going to happen to her, I'd have been like, oh my God, like how is she going to do that? Watched her do it and do it beautifully. And I'm incredibly impressed and proud.
Wow. And you were the support. Couldn't have done it without you. So. My proudest moment? 50.
Mm.
You turned 50 and decided, along the way, I've made some choices to choose myself. I've taken some steps to get and do what I want to do. But at 50, you started living for you.
Mm.
That has been my proudest moment. Seeing you decide how I want to do it, when I want to do it, and the way I'm going to do it. I'm not going to hurt anybody. I'm not going to offend anyone. If they are hurt, if they are offended, that's their business. But I'm going to do the rest of my life in a way that makes me happy, in a way that fulfills me, in a way you had never before. And I am still very proud of you.
Oh, I'm going. For Kristen's 40th birthday, she produced a one-woman show. And it was so multifaceted. It represented her. I'm probably supposed to be saying this to you, so let me change my. It represented you coming out of the shadows, which I knew how much, because I think we had those conversations
Definitely
over the years, and it represented you being unapologetic. It represented you saying yes to yourself in a whole new way. And then you wrote and acted the heck out of it. I was like, girl, it's in here giving us wins and Tony Awards. I mean, literally, like, that has got to be like one of my most proudest moments. Just really, and even that, like, I remember that when you just had the idea and you were like shaking in your boots,
literally wanted to vomit every time. Like, I think you were probably, I think you might have even known before Raymond knew.
really.
Because I'm like, I didn't want to say it because I knew if I said it, I would have to do it.
Because it kind of slipped out in the conversation we had, and you were like, "Oh, because she knows me. If you share a goal with me, baby, it's done. I'm looking for the deadline. I need to know, like, next conversation, we need a project plan.
And then that's it. That's it exactly. And it was just like, it's like I knew I wanted to do it, and I had to say something because I would quickly push it off to the side. Oh no, maybe 42. But no, I knew I wanted to do it, but I was terrified to do it. So
you followed through.
I did,
and you gave it 200%, and it was excellent. And it was just the beginning. And that's what I knew. Like, I was like, this is just the beginning of a whole new chapter. So,
ooh, and it's interesting because I was thinking, I'm just like, because Tiffany does a whole lot, okay? She does a whole lot. But I think for me, it was so Tiffany's first book, I Decided to Live, okay. I knew she was, and then she has about eight, 9 books.
Don't do
at
that.
This point.
It's not that many.
We'll count later.
It's 7.
Okay. Oh, see? But this was, so this was, I knew she was writing the book. I didn't know all that was going into the book. So the fact that you were willing to be so open and raw about your truth.
Oh, yeah, that's all.
Literally, she told the raw truth in this book. Is it still on Amazon?
No, it's not. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, this was, and literally just talking about her journey, stuff from college, just life, what had gotten her up through that point and through her divorce and just raw truths. And I was just like, and you talk to your parents about this? I'm like, I would never, let alone put it in the book. But yeah, so I think that was it because that happened. I mean, so long ago. That was 12.
12.
Okay, that's 20.
Yep.
So 10 years ago. Okay, 10 years ago. A whole yes. 10 years ago. Okay. So yeah, it was just a new level of admiration because it's just like this is a big deal to put your life in a book. And again, knowing her position, knowing the bottom line is anytime you put your life out there, people are going to talk. But because she was already in a different position because of her, I'm just because of who her parents were, and it was just like, wow, either way, you're still, this level of ministry you're willing to do. And see, and again, this is that whole faith thing. God led me to do this, so I'm going to do this, and I can't be worried about the haters and the naysayers and the judgment. This is my truth. And that was a wild, because see, I didn't even do that till 40. She did it at 30, so I'm just like delayed reaction.
Technically, I was 29.
See?
10 years ago.
See?
But we're not talking about that.
Yeah, we're
Proudest moments for she has quite a few. When she graduated from Howard, definitely, for sure. Super proud of her for that. Also, just starting her new life, literally packing up, leaving where she was comfortable with and moving to DC. Me, I got a little challenge with that. I'm a cautious risk taker. But just doing that and making a life for herself, that is a beautiful thing. Just continuing on with dancing. I know, like, even when she was with child, she would still steady, make dance one of her priorities and stuff. I'm very, very proud of her for not giving up on dancing with that. So those three for sure.
Yes. I would have to say college graduation, most importantly. Definitely when you won I forgot the name of the pageant, and remember you had the dress that grandma bought. Yes, winning the pageant at USF. I can't remember the name of it. Let's see, when she went to Apollo. Well, so many. I have so many. I'm always overall proud. Starting her business, singing the national anthem. Like we can keep going on. All of her accomplishments. Even with her, like her fitness and health goals. Like I'm really proud of her because I do health and PE for a living, and so like just seeing her kind of like determined to change her health around, change her fitness, like making it a lifestyle. That makes me extremely proud. So yeah, I got quite a few.
I would set you in the space that sends that career soaring. That would be the thing that solidifies everything you've wanted out of life.
Yes. I would set aside an account that would give you the ability to travel anywhere in the entire world that you want and stay however long you wanted to, and take whomever you want to take, whether you take your whole family, whether you want to go by your damn self. Be able to decide that because you would have the unlimited funds and the ability and time to do so.
And I would love it.
Find her a husband. Oh, bottom line, period.
You didn't even pause.
I did.
2 seconds.
No, because I know how much you want that, and I know how important that, and I know how much that's going to.
No, I got you.
There is there is so much more that you can do with the right kind of support.
Yeah.
And it just is so frustrating that if I could, yeah. So, you know, back to the whole arranged marriage thing. If I just knew, like, God just showed me the right one, so I could just pop them here. That would be. And please don't take that as any kind of neediness or no. Please understand, this is not that. It's just.
But of course, you've got you've really been there for the whole journey. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. I think it would be no. I think it would be like find some like major funding for like your own I feel like there's another level of your artistry that you could do, that you could give yourself to in a different way. If you could just do that. And I think like I know all the things you do, you love, you want to do, but I think like if you just had this blank check, listen, right? That's it. Angel investor,
are you listening?
Yeah, I think
my name is Kristen Young. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay, go ahead.
If somebody said for 1 year, you don't gotta do that, you don't gotta do that.
Oh my
Just
Lord.
produce the project that's really on your heart. It would like.
Do you hear her now?
Yeah,
Father, can you hear her now?
Yeah, that's what it would be. I'm gonna work on that though.
Thank you.
Maybe see that's why I gotta get to work.
Yes.
So
I will give you that finder's fee.
Yes. Yeah, I don't need it. I'm just gonna write. Yeah, we're gonna work on that.
I already know she needs a vacation. She need to go. I am booking her a flight to wherever she wants to go to. Don't bother her. Leave her alone.
Yes, I'm trying to get flued out.
Just too many people be all up in her ear, like, yeah, I want her to just relax, like literally take all stress away and relax on like the beach or wherever she wants to go, being catered to, everything, all expense paid, wherever she wants to go to. That's what I want to do. Yeah.
Yes, come through. So if I could give you anything, I definitely, if I get flued out, you coming with me anyway, though, because I can't, I gotta be, gotta have fun while I'm there, and I'm not gonna have fun by myself. If anything, I would, if I could purchase a home, and I want to start our homes to be like on a cul-de-sac where we're like next door to each other. So like living somewhere, even if it's like not even in the States, I mean, in the, it could be in Trinidad or wherever, but just having where you wouldn't have to worry about that at all. And then, purchasing like all paid for, you don't have to worry about any mortgage or anything. And then something with your business, like I would want to donate major to your business, because you do such a great job with the girls that you work with, and just making sure that expands. I definitely would contribute to that. That's on my to-do list. So.
Yes. Oh, and I also want to pay off all her student loans. Right now, because Howard is not cheap.
That's deep. There was never a time she was not there for me. I would say the only time I got close to that, and I knew it hurt her that she could not physically be there, when I had my second child, and he had to stay in the hospital longer than my discharge from the hospital. And she knew that I was hurt. I knew she couldn't come right away, but I knew she wanted to. And that was enough of her being there for me. But that would be the closest we've come to her not being there. But physically would have been the only way to make that better. But I knew in that situation, she was doing what she could do for me, which was praying for me, which was checking on me, and even wanting to be there was enough.
The very same. That same instance that you watched from a distance. 4 hours is a lot when life comes at you fast, right?
It comes at you fast.
Yeah. And it comes when it does.
Yeah.
But I've never felt alone. Never. I've never felt alone.
I think the only times that you probably couldn't have been there are really more so pertaining to like first family stuff that was like confidential, which I know we addressed earlier was always difficult because you just can't say anything. You just can't to anyone, not somebody who goes there, but none of my other friends, you know, literally like outside of siblings. I think those are the only times where you couldn't be there. But I never held that again. To be honest, I felt bad. I don't know if I've ever said that. I felt bad because it felt like I'm the one, like that's just a layer thing anyway about like that whole PK and like, but knowing I'm the one who is responsible for this barrier, you know, like something major happened today and I'm sad about it. And I can't call and say, this is what happened and I'm sad. And so there would be times where maybe you would at least know, like, you know, well, maybe I'm not feeling good or whatever, but I couldn't go into detail. And that was difficult because I didn't want, because you know how much I value like vulnerability and like openness. And so I think anything relating to that was always difficult because in all fairness, you couldn't be, you know, but I can't think of a time where you could be and you weren't.
Yeah, I don't have that. I mean, like I said, that was one of my, you know, bestie barriers or what have you. Boundaries. Okay. Thank you. So no, it's never been, like I said, and that's one of the reasons why I know that I can depend on her, because it's, you know, she's there, you know, she has been there. And like I said, no, she cannot be at 100% every single thing. And I don't have that expectation, but when it's important, she has been. So every major moment that I can think of that I've had since we've met, she has been there in some form or fashion, even down to, I mean, I know you brought up the whole hospital thing. I'm like, she was my only friend that came to the hospital. Like, and I'm, you know, that sounds real sad, but with the exception of my husband's best friend and wife. But as far as like my personal friends, she was the only one that showed up at the hospital. And that's why some of them aren't here now. But, you know, you know, but it's just like, and I say, and for me, that was so important because I gave people, okay, so to clarify, my daughter was born on Christmas Eve. So I gave people passes because of the time that she was born. I knew, you know, family time, what have you. She literally showed up on Christmas Day to see me in the hospital. And it's like, you didn't even wait till Kwanzaa. You just like, you came, you came, you know, and that, you know, it's stuff like that that really stood out for me. So it's not, you know, I keep bringing up the amount of time. It's not the quantity. It truly is the quality. So no, I can't think of any time where it was just like, why would you there for me? Like, you should have been there. You know, unless I was just having the pregnancy emotional thing. But no, because I mean, so the one time I did have that emotional moment and I was not pregnant, it was one of I was hosting conferences, wives conferences, and you were planning to be there, but I think Jordan got sick or something like that. And I was just like, she's not gonna be here. What am I gonna do? You know, but it was that kind of thing. It wasn't like, she stood me up to go,
Right.
you know,
Oh yeah. No.
you know, it wasn't that kind of thing. No. So again, long-winded, no.
I can answer this. It was not the fact that she couldn't be there for me. It's the fact that I told myself that she couldn't be there for me. And I was full of like anxiety and depression, had anxiety attacks, and it's just my mental just was like, I don't want that stress to be on her, even though she's verbally and said it and she's been there for me. I told myself that she wasn't going to be there for me. So, but anytime Kalada would definitely be there for me. It's just I was telling myself that she wouldn't be there. So yeah.
If I had to name anything, and it's more so of a wish, but I feel like it's just because of where we live in two different places. More so just with like her godson. It's not that she's not there. Like Janelle's there for her godson. But I wish that he would be able to spend more time with her. And it's not that she wasn't there, but just missing out on a bunch of milestones that, I want him to like be able to call her and be like, hey, God, mom, and things like that. And I guess to do better with just like, and we've been planning, both she and I, like, I need to come visit, she needs to come up here, like just, do a little bit more when it comes to that, because we now have like a different situation. Kind of as an adult, you sometimes have the means to do it. So if I had to name anything, I would say that, because I don't know, like he knows of her and he knows who she is, but that building that relationship, I think was missed out on.
I'm not going to talk about, I guess I am going to talk about other friendships that I've seen. I wasn't going to do that, but I guess I'm going to. I often hear, well, that's my best friend and I'm not speaking to her. Or that's my best friend and she gets on my nerves. I mean, she's my best friend, but there are no buts. I've never had that feeling, and I've never felt treated like there was a but.
Only thing I would say is that time put in might be different, because I know a lot of best friends have been friends from like elementary school or back in where they grew up, and we didn't meet till we were adults, in marriages and whatnot. So that would be the only difference that I've seen. I agree with her though. I have seen that same, like, she gets on my nerves, or I can't stand her. And we've never had that.
I feel like we've said it. Well, for me, I mean, I think it's just because we have I can't even say weird. It's just the dynamics that we have are they're true. So I think there's a safety. Yeah.
That we almost might even take for granted, but it's like, because we can really genuinely be 100% raw. Like ugly, all of it, like what it is, right? And know that if you don't agree, you're gonna let me know. But you don't do it in a I've seen people like tear down, and like really be abrasive, and I don't consider that safe. Because I think there's a way to say, girl, okay, look.
And I do that.
Oh, you do.
I think we do that. We do that because I have been called all the way out on the megaphone in private. But ma'am, what is you doing? Why are we doing this? Ma'am. Why are we doing this? Yeah.
I say it kind.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But it's really, man, why are we doing this? What we're not going to do is that, and we're not going to continue this conversation because
What we're not going to do.
you're being ridiculous to the utmost.
And then the coach in me comes out and I say, so next conversation.
Right. Yes. And
You leave with an extra
yes.
flag.
I don't even remember what the question was. What was the question?
What makes
Did
us?
we answer it?
um,
So
yeah.
So I see. I answered it. You should have cut me off. I said I think I really feel like we just kind of touched on it throughout this conversation. It's just our dynamics are ours, but I will always go back to that as you said, that safety. But for me, it always comes up just as the just that truth factor that our friendship was built on, and still flourishes from.
And the vulnerability, absolutely.
Claudia, what sets us apart?
From others, we're not petty. Like,
right.
If I have, it's like something really small, but I have seen like really good friendships, of others, even with friends that I have who have best friends, and sometimes like something may happen and like because they don't really understand, or like they try to be petty or get back at the person, and to me that's not a true friendship or a true sisterhood. Like we're more like I don't even call her, like, yes, I say it's my best friend, but she's my sister, and so like we don't always get, there's disagreements or you may not always get along, but I would never do anything to jeopardize or like say anything to be petty or just in spite of because she made me mad or something like that. And I think that sets us apart, because I've definitely have seen that in some friendships where that happens.
Right. I agree. That's a very good one. Yeah, I agree.
If you have one, feel free to just jump in because I need to think about it.
I'm going with Christie's.
Oh my God.
And we have done a lot of things.
Oh,
just we could get in there, we could sneak in there, but it was Christie's Art Gallery in New York. We spent the day there for one of the jankiest of awards ceremonies. And we left the awards, were just walking in New York City and decided, all right, we need to, stop. We need to find a restroom. And of all the places we had absolutely no business being, we walked into to that gallery like we had every right to be bidding on $1 million art to use the restroom.
I had to go.
The whole foolishness in that evening is probably one of my fondest memories. There are so many, but that one, just us in one of my favorite places in the world doing the foolishness that we do well, is a good one for me.
Shenanigans and chicanery at its best. That was a good one. That whole day was a good one because I was like, I mean, New York is, we can look at some stuff. I mean, it's a lot of people, because I don't like to do like real close up a lot of people. But we had like the best time ever. That's like one of her favorite places in the world. And we had the most stupid yet amazing just did foolishness. Mm-hmm. Another one, when you said awards, it made me think of Florida. Mm-hmm. I won an award for my poetry CD, and she's my manager. So we went together for me to, we went to the award show together, and I won the award. And just to have her there was like, we did it. Did it. And she was in the audience and I was on stage. I was just like, that was a great moment too.
Yeah.
That was a great moment.
Yeah.
I think one of them for me was my birthday in Miami.
I was literally just saying, welcome to Miami.
Because we both worked so hard. And it was nice to just like really let our hair down.
Yeah. Because I'm honestly, just being honest, was that our first girl trip?
It probably was.
Yeah. So a couple years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
More
We
than a
went
couple,
to,
sadly.
okay, so a few
I'm just thinking of the number.
few years ago.
Yeah.
A few years ago. Yes, we did her birthday. And it's funny because it's like, yes, it was her birthday trip, but I said it was ours because
Oh, I know, right.
our birthdays
was
like 2
so
weeks
close.
apart. So so it was hers,
But technically,
but it was
it
ours.
was our
I was
birthday.
still, I was doing the whole celebrate all month long type thing.
Hey, I admit it.
But yeah, so I think that was definitely a good one.
Yeah.
Because I was just literally thinking about I was there, like, I'm just thinking about how just being involved in I think almost every move that you've had.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
so it's the little stuff like that. It's
That's
just like,
true.
because those are the processing. Those are the,
Yeah.
I don't know why moving just kind of stood
Yeah, I
out,
can
but
tell Hey, I can tell you bought me my first like little
little
handy
toolkit. Yeah, the little,
toolkit. I did. I use that thing.
yeah, and I'm thinking about, like, even I just remember when you lived in Owens Mills and
Oh,
y'all
gosh, yep.
you got to do the whole pizza thing and sitting on the floor with boxes type thing. So it's like, stuff like that just kind of stands out because those are just those life moments. It's not about, because your first award and those standout milestone moments, but it's about being there for the everyday. Those kind of things are just always so important to me. You can show up in everyday life.
Because when you put it that way, you've literally been at every house I've had as an adult. There has not been one place I've lived as an adult that you have not been there and been a part of.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. Yeah.
There's so many. I think our trips, like, we went to Aruba together. I went up to DC. She came down here to Tampa. We would go to the club, but we'd be so tired. But then we were so tired. We're like, man, we don't want to get dressed. We don't want to do nothing. But when we get there, we just dancing, have a good time. Oh man, going to Apollo with me, staying in that dirty hostel.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I would say our travels, like, we Vegas. I forget Vegas. We went to Vegas together.
Vegas, Trinidad.
Mm-hmm. Literally, our traveling experiences together have been awesome.
I think for me, I have 3 distinct ones.
Oh God.
I don't know if it was for your 18th birthday or mine, when we went and was like, we gonna go to the strip club.
Oh yeah.
We were driving down in Tampa.
I think it was, or Causeway, one of them.
Causeway Boulevard, like literally in the middle of the night, trying to go to one and then couldn't find one, or it just wasn't as entertaining as we thought it would be. And we just went home and chilled out. The second one is when we had our own intimate game night with those 2 said people I will not name names. My
God.
And when we had to do this charades game, and this chick went and had Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and she crouched down, do all these things, and no getting it. We were like, what? Like, and she's like, crouching tiger, hidden dragon. Like, and I'm just like, no, I don't know. We might get in trouble for this. That's when my grandmother had left out of town and we were like staying in her apartment.
In her apartment.
Yes. And then my third one is Trinidad Carnival, just being in that atmosphere with you at Juve, and like staying at your uncle's house. I think so. We were at your uncle's house and going to Maracas Beach. Like all those things were nice. So yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I see the best is yet to come, because the more mature we get, the more accomplishments I see us gaining and reaching goals and getting to places where we are really establishing longevity of happiness, of fulfillment. And I just see it being like the best is yet to come, because once these kids, like her kids are almost all done, grown and done. I got a little bit longer on my younger son. So in 10 years, my younger son will be 21 and I'll be able to move a lot freer. And I just see like, that's the only phrase that comes to mind, is the best is yet to come.
Mm-hmm. I'll share that. My best friend. I agree.
See, first of all,
she's gonna be at my wedding.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But no, honestly, and I always laugh about it, but the speech that she gives is gonna be, we're gonna have to like pre-approve
that'll
something,
be,
because
the Holy Spirit will lead
I'll be like, look
and
now,
guide me.
But I just think of like moments like that I know are coming, my new home or whatever life brings, and like the role you'll play in those moments.
So I mean, and again, I was just sharing those life moments. So that's definitely important. But I mean, it's scary because the whole 10-year thing. It was cute when you're like 20. And 10 years from now. Yeah. So the fact that I will be 50 in 10 years,
I'll be 40 now.
Thanks. Thank you. But I'm just like, so just dealing with that and knowing that time moves a whole lot faster and I have a whole lot to do by 50. But no, I as far as us here, I really just see you blossoming in business, and I'm not quite sure how. But I just know that there's so much more that you need to do as far as speaking and rebuilding the Tiffany Bethia brand. So she has a whole album out right now that she is sleeping on, but I'm going to let her finish this nap.
But I'm on a sabbatical, doesn't that count?
I'm going to let her finish this nap. However, she has a whole entire album out right now, and we have a concert to prepare, and that's happening, and this is being recorded. So I mean, but there's just so much more that she needs to do as far as her personal brand that I am waiting to assist. And I know even for me, I know for sure I am really focused.
Say, if we go in there, then
So let me, before she said that, okay, so I am focused on
major production.
Yes, but honestly, and that is my personal focus. So I know for us, as we grow over these next 10 years into a different level of blossoming and expansion, I'm not sure how the collaboration is going to happen.
I don't work the ticket table,
Nah.
Why can't work the ticket table?
No, there's a collaboration that's going to happen. But I don't know exactly what that looks like yet. But either way,
are you gonna be singing at your show?
I mean, you definitely can. You definitely can. I don't know, but so bottom line is we're growing in business.
And in our purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And just truly this is kind of like catapult season. This is you know, catapult season.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know that the biggest struggle that I have is that I know Tiffany is moving out of state, and
maybe not. You think?
Okay, so
I don't know.
I know Tiffany is moving out of state, and so you know that's just a whole different dynamic when you are that much farther apart. But it's going to be, it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. Thus saith the Lord.
Oh God. What a prophetic word. Okay.
I see us raising our kids together, us both married, and traveling. Like, I want us to have like couple family travels together. I know
I need babe. I need a babe.
you're working on that.
Exponentially.
And because I have a plan to be retired by 40, like definitely those houses and, you know, paying off things and being financially free for both of us, and her business just being bigger than ever. And like, not to say like you are recognized, but like, I want you to have national, international recognition with not only your business, but your voice, like singing. So.
Well, in the next 10 years, I definitely want you to continue with your dancing career, even like, you know, on like Debbie Allen status. I can see that, definitely see that. I always seen that in you since high school. I can see you teaching on a national and international level, for sure, for sure. Of course, growing old with each other, couples trips, definitely. Babe, hurry up. You know, having our children, you know, grow up with each other, that's definitely a plus. And just having that longevity that we've been having for the last 15 years, you know what I mean? So we don't want to be rocking chair grandmas. We want our children's children to know each other as well, and just have them build that bond with each other, for sure. So that's what I see in the next years.
Yes, our kids are gonna have to catch up to us. We're gonna be gone. I'm not. We be like, we getting flued out. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do the things you want to do and know that I would agree. Go at it alone and go all in. I'm usually your look to. You think about this. If I wasn't here, if it makes you happy, go.
I thought for sure you would say, make sure my husband does not have a funeral for me.
That was my initial thought. And I was like, I am not going to tell the whole world that I will refuse a funeral.
Don't you let them.
Don't let them. That was my first thought. Make sure there's no funeral and then do what you want. Yes.
I would say follow the peace. Whatever brings you peace, do that. Regardless of what that means, regardless of who gets left behind, follow your peace and be at peace, period.
Okay. Take a deep breath. If I was to depart this life before you, I would want you to know for sure that you were loved and seen and affirmed, and to be open to a new space that God may create to bring that. And it's never about a replacement or anything, but I wouldn't want your heart to be shut down like I've experienced that or I've had that. Because you deserve this sisterly type of love forever. And so I wouldn't want what I provide, I don't want to say to go unmet, but I would always want you to have what you need and deserve. And I just feel like God would create space. And then it wouldn't have to be an either or, but a both and, where what we had lives still, and your heart still is filled and fed in the way it deserves to be. Yeah, that's tough.
Wow.
But that's what I would want. I would want you to still be loved, and I would still want the love and the care that I have for you to reach you. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So I mean, so honestly, my initial thought was, I would love for you to just be there for the girls. Tiffany just has this amazing, she has so much to pour into women, and is such an amazing example for young women. So I would love to know that you could be there for them and really be able to be that mentor for both of them. But really just just know that I physically, if I wasn't here, I would definitely be still here sitting on the couch like, what is you doing?
Literally that.
What is you doing? Just know that literally my spirit would always be checking in. Like, ma'am.
No, I know.
Ma'am. Is that what we doing today?
It would be worse because I'm assuming you'd literally be able to see me.
Yes.
And that would just be terrible.
Yes. Like, is that you, Lord? No, Tiffany, it's me. It is me. I am here.
Exactly. Oh, no.
God assigned me to you. Okay.
Yeah.
So
We're getting emotional now. I'm not gonna cry.
Wow, yeah. I would want, Lord, I'm trying to say that I'm pregnant, so my whole hormones are like I would definitely want you to raise Makai as if, well, in the same mannerisms that we were raised in. I want you to continue living your dreams and know that I would always be there spiritually, because I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna be an ancestor or something. But I definitely wouldn't want I want a celebration. Like, it's not, I believe in the afterlife, so I believe in, being there. And just hopefully that, whenever you would be able to like look up or hear music or anything, and you'd be able to like know that I'm just right there with you no matter what. But definitely for me, continuing on the path that you're on, because you're going to do greatness, and just making sure that Makai is, or all of my kids for that matter, however many I have, but Makai, because he'll probably be the oldest, definitely just making sure that he was raised with the same mannerisms, take his behind the church, make sure that he has that side, and just, making sure that he knows like you're like, we are one. So whatever you decide would have been what I would have wanted anyway. So
I would have to say, if I leave, I would want you, depending on when that happens, I would want you to take a portion of my legacy, financially, because I do, because I'm going to be an owner of some land. So a portion to my mom, my dad, and then a portion to you, so that you could continuously build and let Makai have that portion as well, and your child now, so that they could continue on not just my legacy, but you all as well, and that income. So it can pay for his college, it can pay whatever, it can pay for whatever that needs to be paid for. So that, and prayerfully, if I have children, definitely I want you to be a part of their life, so that they'll know that they are not alone. I know my parents will be there, but as far as the intermediate family, not so much. I'm very big with energy. So, and I'm very protective over mine. So I know I can trust my children with you. So those are my two. Definitely, I do want you to have a portion of my legacy, income, all of that, so it can support you and your family. Yeah.
I'd have to say those three beautiful kids of yours, family in general, your family in general, because I've watched you struggle with relationships with them, especially as they become older, as far as kids, and working to make your marriage everything you want it to be. And you have done an absolute hell of a job, particularly at being a mother, because I say it all. I'm like, I'm not good at this. I don't feel like this is my area of gifting. I feel like they're alive, thank God. But I admire your mothering. I just think it's amazing. So your family in general, but specifically those three humans that you have raised to be beautiful human beings.
They are a work.
Yeah.
They're good people, though. They're good people.
They're good people. I love them.
They're good people. Wow, your greatest accomplishment. Your joy. You worked for it. It's nice to see you here. Yeah. I have seen you want it, know what it looks like, have a plan to get there, but just talking to you all the time and hearing it even when it's, oh, I am absolutely not doing that. There's a joy that I hear in what you're not going to do.
Mm-hmm.
That was missing. Finding that, going for it, and taking it. Yeah. It's a hell of an accomplishment. Outside of all the things that you have always done that bring you joy, having it. It's greater than all of the plays, the poems, the things I've seen you do many times and do amazingly well. The smile, the laughter, the joy that you have that even those things could not give you, that's your greatest accomplishment.
Whew. Whew. Kira, how many more of these things you got? Jesus. I was holding on.
So, and again, I feel like I touched on this already, but just your overcoming ability is amazing. You have had to live your life in the public eye most of your life. So, and it's yes, I think just from a general standpoint, just your ability to overcome and to literally get knocked down 7 times and get up 8. I have seen all 7. Yeah. 8, 9, and 12. But you have always gracefully. It's never been that meltdown moment. It's never been, yes, you've had some walls, but it's never been this obnoxious or this childish display of ridiculousness. It's just always, this is what it is. You've accepted the criticism. I remember it's just the crazy stuff people. So just bottom line, it's just been some real, just real random stuff and just real life stuff. But you have always overcome with grace. Mm-hmm.
I had a couple of answers, and that's why I'm. Mm-hmm. But the one I'm going to say, honestly, I think your greatest accomplishment is happening now, and you've done a lot. Because she stresses me doing a lot. Kristen does all of the things. But I honestly think that the way that you are stepping into like the most authentic, like the most unapologetic, the most, like there's a quote, and I can't remember who they say it, so I don't even want to try to, like, there's 2 important days. This is my paraphrase. The day you were born and the day you realize why. And I feel like you are stepping into that why in a greater way. And because you're a mom, like that rings true with me because I know what it's like to watch my mom in purpose. Sadly, not enough people know what that looks like.
Right.
How natural it makes it for you to just, because we do what our parents do, not what they say. And so when you see that modeled, you're like, oh, I'll do that too. And it just really starts something. So watching you as a mom of girls, like I know the weight of what that does for them 20 years from now when they're having these conversations. Like I saw my mom. This is what they'll be saying. And so I think that's one of your biggest accomplishments. And I think it's amazing to watch because I know it's not easy.
Right.
And I know it's scary, but you're doing the trailblazing that they won't have to. Like, there was a degree to which I had my own journey, but my mom took some of the roughest hits for me. And I could just kind of come behind and do my own path. And you are doing that for your girls. You're knocking down some walls. Like, there's some paths. They're gonna have their own journey, but you are trailblazing a path for them. There's gonna be some footprints that they get to just walk in. Oh, okay, this is just instinctively because they saw you do that. And that people are always talking about generational, but that's like real legacy right there. And I think that it's just amazing, and it's very intentional. Something like that doesn't happen by happenstance. You choose to do that and to face fear and to go anyway. And so I'm super proud of you for that.
Thank you.
So money. I would say the same thing, like being able to balance having children and, you know, your life in general. Even though people may think that that's small, I see a lot of people wanting to give up on life because of that, you know, and the fact that you wake up every morning, even though sometimes you may cry, even though sometimes you're fed up, you still do it. You get what I'm saying? And that's amazing to me. I'm not a mom yet, you know, so the fact that, you know, motherhood and you're like, okay, I need to adjust some things. But then also you try to make time for yourself. I find that to be brilliant, you know, and I don't just look at my perspective of accomplishments is more than just the tangible. You feel me? So if I'm not happy or if I'm not, you know, grateful or filled with gratitude, none of that tangible stuff doesn't matter to me. You know, so I do pride in mothers, including yourself, for, you know, just balancing that motherhood, but also trying to make time for you and others, and then your work life and your dance life as well. So I find that's amazing to me because not everybody can do that. Yeah.
And for me, your perseverance. I think that's your greatest accomplishment. Like, it's like you said, it's not tangible, but just knowing how we were in high school and like the struggles you had in high school, and then working through that and taking like even some responsibility and holding yourself accountable to be in the mindset that you are in today. That takes a lot. It takes faith, it takes perseverance, pushing through. So, you know, despite all the amazing things that you have accomplished, I think because you've had that perseverance and that faith and you've held on to it, that has helped you get to that point. So I would have to say that would be your biggest one.
Thanks.
So this is why. So it's not quite a tagline, but what comes to mind, the imagery that came to mind was, okay, the tagline would be ride or die. That was the first thing came up. The imagery that came along with that was us in a car, and what's playing on the radio is, bitch better have my money. Like, she's that friend. Oh, who did what? I'll be there in 10 minutes. No, just get in the car. Don't, TT, just get in the car. Bitch better have my money. It's playing on that radio. She's about it. Right.
Don't call me on my bluff. And that's my jam too.
See? Pay me what you owe me.
You're a mess for that.
It just came as a picture.
Oh, TT. That is you all day. I don't know. I don't know if everyone has seen Set It Off, but TT was the most meek, most, I don't want to cause any trouble, but I'm going to do this because I'm doing this with my friends and this is going to be for all of us. And when I think of you, I immediately think, oh, TT.
It has to be something like dramatic with you. Like, I'm trying to think of like,
It has to be dramatic.
No, it definitely does.
Do I come across dramatic?
No,
Oh.
not you.
Um,
I'm gonna say star of the show. Is that a phrase? Can I use that? Because yeah.
okay.
That's mine. And it's a little bit prophetic because that's what I'm also declaring as you're stepping further into this season.
Okay.
Because you've always been the star of the show, but now, because of what you possess and your ability, even when you try to hide it, but now you're letting people know what's really up.
Okay.
And I love it.
So, no, I mean, my thing is, I'm trying like, how do I create this without being like corny? You know, like what is like a real tagline? Like, I mean, because she's like this whole marketing branding expert, so I can't come with the whole, you know, it's like
it doesn't matter. I'm not
thanks. I don't know. So okay, okay, so just what comes to mind is I'm just thinking like Tiffany, fierce faith and flourishing. So I feel like there's something else that needs to flow in there, but fierce faith and flourishing. So
interesting. Okay.
Yes.
I thought you were gonna say like just do it or something.
No. Because I thought, okay, so I took that as we had to make up our own.
Oh, that was. Well, I thought she said it could be okay. Maybe no.
I don't know. Again, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. So.
Sagging too small.
How did I know you were gonna bring that up? I knew it. And the funny thing is, I was going to say the same thing, but it's. I don't even go by that anymore.
The backstory to this. So when we were in our small days, our chest area, hers were too small and mine was sagged. So we would.
So I called her sag, and she would call me too small. And so, like I said, nowadays I don't even know if we can go by that anymore. But that would be introducing sag and too small show.
Yeah. I know, right? Oh man.
Be honest. Be honest and go in love. There's a way to say what needs to be said. And if you are a true friend, if you genuinely love your friend, be honest, because your deception will only lead them to a place of hurt.
Those were my exact words. Exactly. Honesty is key. Because without trust, there's nothing in any relationship. If there's no trust, there's no foundation. So honesty is absolutely key.
I always like to say the capacity for any other relationship is set by your self-love. Like how my capacity to be there for her is set by my capacity to be here for me. And so I think that if you want a safe space, a place to be vulnerable, a place to be loved, a place to be affirmed, you actually have to really offer that to yourself first. You've got to be able to be that way with yourself so that you really genuinely, for longevity, be able to offer that to someone else. The reason I can call you and tell you something I may honestly even be ashamed of is because I've offered myself grace, even if I'm like, okay, she's gonna fuss at me. But because I've learned to give myself grace, and I'm coded in that, I can handle the weight of your truth. If I'm beating myself up, if I'm being harsh, if I have not dealt with me, it doesn't even matter how loving you said. I'm gonna feel attacked. I'm gonna feel some kind of way because all of that. But because I am secure, I'm like, okay, here we go. I can handle the weight of that. And I just think sometimes where that gets lost, people in all kinds of relationships, romantic as well, like there are some prerequisites to vulnerability. There are prerequisites to emotional safety that people don't always realize, and it really does start with there's an atmosphere that vulnerability has to exist in, and we both have an active part in creating that. So I think that's just one of the things I always want to say, especially for women, because women can really struggle with that with other women. Or she betrayed, or whatever happened. But sometimes we got to look back and realize the ingredient we brought that allowed or didn't allow, something to be safe or whatever. So that's one thing I would say.
Yeah. And so yeah, I think that whole trust. I mean, the trust factor is big, and that should be in any close relationship. But so I think my thought is, or my advice would be to check in. And not just check in like, hey girl, how you doing, but check in on the relationship. And I say that because I remember as we were developing our relationship, I was still very unsure. And as Tiffany was just saying, just kind of your self-reflection or that self-love piece is so important, because I have been an uncertain person and not always had the confidence that I need to have in certain situations. But as our relationship was developing, it was never, yes, it happened organically, but it wasn't like, oh, we started hanging out all the time. We were going to the movies, we were going to dinner, and it didn't evolve in that way. It evolved in, as I said, we came together serving on a ministry together, and then it just kind of evolved, and then it jumped. I won't say, but a lot of the foundation was supporting her as she was going through her divorce. So because I was still coming from that servant support place, I still just wasn't sure where we were. But I specifically remember a conversation that we had, basically almost kind of clarifying that, because it was just like, you know what, you're right. It was always, once she kind of shifted and started healing from that place, it was just kind of like, well, does she need me anymore? I remember just kind of feeling like I don't know where I stand, because I've supported her to the next level. So
was that it? Am I done?
Am I still down here? As she, where? So but I specifically remember we had a conversation about that, and it was just like, oh, so this is where I am now. This is where, this is what I need next, that kind of thing. And that conversation helped me to understand, oh, we are friends. I'm not just, you know, her armor bearer in the situation, you know.
Right.
And not to say, yo, I ain't even gonna go deep. But so the point is, I would say just to make sure you are checking in, to make sure you're giving and receiving what is necessary, because you know, as you grow, life changes. We know that. But if that's truly your bestie, if that's truly the part of your primary support system, you need to make sure you're being supported properly, and you're supporting your friend properly. So just having those check-ins are you know, not so much are we good, but what do you need, and just being able to create a safe space to have that honest conversation. I need more of this, you know, I love you, you've been great, but it would really help if you did more of this, or vice versa.
No, it's so good, because people talk about that a lot in the marital, you know, that if you're married to someone for, you know, you expect that we're going to be different people, but you don't hear about it talked about as much in the friendship setting,
right?
That we've literally walked through a lot of different seasons together, and every season has required, and we're going to walk through more different seasons. And so I think just what you said struck something in me, just in terms of what we tend to do is like reflect on what's needed now, based on like who you are now, and how can I show up, and vice versa. Like, how do you need me to show up? You know, so no, that checking in is really huge. But like you said, it's not just are you good? You got to recognize, if you're going to be friends with someone for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, you're going to be several different versions of you. And so, because I see a lot of people lose friendships because they'll say stuff like, well, this person wasn't there for me in that season, or they didn't. But did you honestly reveal a space where you said, this is what being there for me looks like right now?
Yeah.
And most of them say no. They just assume you should know, but
we were still going to brunch, so we good.
Yeah. But if you're becoming a new person and you barely know what you need, you can't expect that person, you got to actually say, this is what I need now.
That's great. I would definitely, my advice to give to other besties, I would say, don't be afraid to be your genuine self around your best friend. Because I'm really big with, if I'm honest with myself, I can be honest with others. So, and I know sometimes it can be like, okay, are they going to judge me? If they're your best friend, they're there for a reason. You know, I've had challenges with, oh my gosh, I don't want to put this load on them because they have a life to give. But don't be afraid to be genuine and honest and open with them. That's what they're there for. You know what I'm saying? Even if they may not reach out, 5 minutes, but they gonna reach out. You know what I'm saying? When they have that time. So that's my advice for other besties.
My advice would be to give each other grace. All right. So like you mentioned, us being, far away. And maybe we talk like right now, we talk like once a month, or we'll try to check in at least once a month, maybe more. But, give each other grace. Like you said, I might not answer right away, but I'm there, and I'm going to check in. I'm going to make sure that, you're good. Same thing that Janelle would do for me. And grace needs to happen because I am a mother and I do have a different schedule, but she's also a pioneer. Like she's up here, working with these young ladies and having her voice, lift her voice business, and, balancing that, and, just there might be moments where, and being okay and accepting of when your friend comes to you and say, well, I haven't really been completely honest, or I've been holding this back, or, I didn't really know how to tell you about this, not judging. So just making sure that you give each other grace and are kind no matter what. So, because relationships take work. Any relationship takes work. Like this, maintaining a 15-year or longer relationship or friendship takes a lot of work, especially because we've been long distance for majority of it. And so it takes working together. It takes making sure that grace is given, because it's not just something that, you know, too many people fall out over small things, and then it's like, were you really my friend to begin with because this one little thing deterred you away? It takes a minute to build 15 years or more. So yeah.
Wow, that's deep. One sentence. You know I'm a wordsmith, and I'm so particular. I'm like, no, don't phrase it that quite that way. Just around. Okay, there's gonna be some commas in there. Other than my children, comma, there is no one in the world that means more to me than you.
Okay, I think, can I? Like a second. I need a minute.
See, I'm gonna take the minute I needed before. Since
okay. Got me. Got me messed up.
you was thugging it out.
I was good. I was flop, flop, flop until now.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's heavy. Okay. I've heard it said in many ways, a million different phrasings. It's limitless. My love for you is limitless. Love without a limit. Yeah.
Damn it. Jeez. Now they're falling.
Right.
They were just welling up before. Now they're falling.
Yeah, just if I can, I will. There's nothing I wouldn't try. Yeah. I'm good. Yeah.
I mean, I just think you're amazing. You have just been, you have been an amazing example for me in so many different areas. And I know that this was definitely divine how we came together, because we've said so many times how it just kind of but yeah, just you have been my mentor. You have been my prayer partner. You've been, again, just for someone who consistently lacked confidence, even though, you know, on the surface most people don't think that, but because living with such a challenge with self-confidence, and even though you've shared pieces, but in general you've always exemplified just a greater level of confidence and bravery that is so admirable to me. And I love the fact that you have just accepted me as me, because I know there are times where you hang up the phone like, is she really real? Like, exactly. Like, no, she's not. She's not. And I'm aware of that because I do it to myself. I'm like, oh. Really? But you know, but it's just like, but you have always been so patient with me, and you have accepted me where I was, or wherever I am, wherever I am. It's just never been like, I ain't got time for this. Right. This is where you are, and literally, I mean, she is like the definition of meet you where you are. Yeah. And it's always done with such grace, and but you also, even in that grace, I always feel like I gotta get it together. I know I can't stay here. It's like if it has been released to Tiffany, I gotta come up a little higher. You know, it's just, you know, it's a requirement. It's a requirement, and not in any type of in no negative way at all. It's just always, you require, you just require me to do better. Like,
I think that goes into my love for you, because I push you because I want to see the best, and not the best according to what I think that is, but your dreams, your desires. You are so multifaceted, and I never want to see you like unfulfilled or not living, like working all of that's in you, you know? So that's why I push you. And because I see how selfless you are, and there for so many other people. And I'm like, you know, I want that for you. I love and appreciate so many things about you. I love, number one, your creativity. You're hilarious. She danced, y'all. Well, I don't know if there's no question I was going to bring that out, but you don't want to see Kristen on the dance floor. Just, you don't want to battle her. She won. Let her have it, okay? She won. But no, because you're fun, and like that matters to me, you know, like that we can go from, you know, deep conversation to just turn on some music or just be, you know, and have fun. But I appreciate your loyalty, your consistency. Like you can set a clock by Kristen. As a matter of fact, when I have stuff, I be like, well, like I already know you're gonna be, if you're not the first person there, you the first person there. So I wouldn't need nowhere else to go with that. I just appreciate so many things about you and your heart. That is what I value most. Because over time we'll evolve, we'll change to interest, career, but your heart is the core of really who you are, and it's unchanging. It's pure, it's honest, and even as you have found your own way, that's never gotten in the way of just being loving and caring and wanting the best. So
ride or die. That's my love. That is my love. I would literally take a bullet for this girl and go to jail if I gotta mess somebody up. I was gonna curse.
She's so crazy, but she crazy. My love for you is infinite. Like, I love you so much. When I get Grammys, you are going to be in my speech. It's definitely, it's infinite. Like it's more than, it blossoms. And I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful for you. I'm very honored to have you as a best friend. You know what I'm saying? We don't come around a lot of genuine people like that. So my love for you is infinite.
Yes. I love you. Air hug.
I'm gonna sing a Bestie song with my best friend.
I'm gonna sing along with my best friend.
Oh,
the song that came to mind, first of all, we've never sung it together. And number two, if we tried right now, I would cry horribly. Count on me through thick and thin, a friendship that will never end. That song, if I finish it, out.
When you are weak, I will be strong, helping you to carry on. Call on me, I will be there. Don't be afraid. Please believe me when I say, count on me.
Count on me through thick and thin, a friendship that will never end. When you are weak, I will be strong, helping you to carry on. Call on me, I will be there. Don't be afraid. I'm trying to take the top note. Please believe me when I say, count on me. I think we did good. I think it went.
We are cornballs.
With the vocals, girl. I got the dancing.
Oh, I see the crystal raindrops fall on the beauty of them all. When the sun comes shining through, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us, you and I.
I call on you, my friend, a helping hand you lend in my time of need. So I'm calling you now, just to make it through. What else can I do? Don't you hear my plea? Friends may come and friends may go, but you should know that I've got your back.